I just wanted to get on here real quick and express my frustration with the characterization of this Supreme Court decision. All I've heard is 18th century law, 18th century law, 18th century law. So I typed that into Google. I just want to show you what comes up here. The Guardian, HuffPo, Washington Times, CBC, Scripps News, The Guardian, AP, NBC, of course NBC, WEAU. Let's go to the second page real quick. PBS, Time, KCCI. Only AP there actually puts the year. Reddit, of course. Reddit, because Reddit is important, right? U.S. News and World Whatnot. Wyoming Public Media. Page 3. The Journal. NCN News. VIN News. WVIA. Democracy Docket. Do you see my point? Here's another way of putting it. The law, as signed by the founders of the country, around the same time as the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, around that time. They're trying to use this wording of 18th century to make you think that it's antiquated and out of date, when it validates its legitimacy, when the very people who founded the country are the very people who wrote this law. It's hard to say that it doesn't conform with the foundations of the Constitution, when the writers of the Constitution are very likely some of the writers of this bill or the supporters of this bill originally. Words have meaning, and the framing of these words is very important. When they frame it to you that this is an old and antiquated law, you think, well, this is modern times. What does it matter anymore? So is the First Amendment old and antiquated? I would say not. The Second Amendment? Certainly not. You can go through them all, the Bill of Rights. Are they old and antiquated? Or are they still legitimate and hold consequence in our lives to this day? I would say they do. So this wording that's being used by these people, this purposeful manipulation, and that's what this is. This is manipulation. To understand what the news actually says and how it's framed is very important. And I learned this when I was very young. They lie by omission, and they lie by presentation. All three of which are in this story. Words have meaning. For you to frame it as old and antiquated by the insinuation or the legitimization of it by saying the law signed at the same time period as the founding of the nation, who's signed and was supported by some of the founders of this nation. Again, legitimizes it more, in my opinion, and I'm glad the Supreme Court saw it that way. Unfortunately, it was far more narrow than it should be. Judges have too much power. And the media, these lion sacks out here presenting this the way they are propagandizing and manipulating people, again, to their agenda. Learning how to read the news and see it for what it actually is one of the most important skills any person in this country can have. The mainstream media is an enemy of the people. They have been for over 50 years. My entire life. Okay? I am a Rush baby. He taught me how to read the news. Not listen, but read it. Understand it. Learn the ways they're manipulating you, using words to twist you, to make you think something that you shouldn't. This is a perfect example of that. Thank you, Rush, for your teachings. Not meant to be teachings, meant to be entertainment, but damn it, it sure the hell was. Charter member of the vast right-wing conspiracy, baby. That's how far back my training goes. This frustrates me. I was watching one of my favorite podcasts, and the news presenter, just reading the news, he did not present it this way. He was simply reiterating the story, brought that 18th century crap onto a show that should know better and should have caught it like that. How you frame the news, how you speak, the very words you use are vital to the knowledge of the people. You cannot have a republic if you do not have a well-informed public. I know this is a rant video. I think it needed to be said. The manipulation of words removes the meaning, the heart of it. Old, antiquated. No, it was there at the founding. And you dismissing that for your agenda is just another way of you dismissing this country that you hate and you loathe and have thought since its founding was unfair and unjust. Well, there's a lot of us who don't think that. A lot of us. This just pissed me off. And I had to get on here and rant about it because, damn it, until people understand how they're manipulated, they're going to continue to be manipulated. Words have meaning. Framing is just as important as the story itself. That's all I got.